In 2020, a college student named Eric Schubert stumbled upon a cold case that would change his life and finally bring closure to a family waiting 56 years for answers. A 9-year-old girl, murdered in 1964, had remained a mystery for generations until now. This is the story of how a 20-year-old genealogy enthusiast solved one of Pennsylvania's oldest cold cases, unlocking a truth that seasoned investigators couldn't. Crime, conspiracy, cults, serial killers, murder, all the things that draw us in, all the darkness we try to understand. And today, we step into that darkness together. Strap in, and let's uncover the story of Maurice and Chivalella. Maurice Chivalella was born on Thanksgiving Day, November 25, 1954, in Waterville, New York, to Carmen and Mary Chivalella. She was the second of 5 children, growing up in a tight-knit, working-class Italian-American family. Her father, Carmen, originally from Wilkes-Barre, ran a small grocery store, the Little Market, while her mother, Mary, worked at a downtown knitting mill. Life was simple but full of love and routine. Sundays were sacred, Mass in the morning, a family meal at lunchtime, and the chance to gather together around the table, the only time all week the family could be together. Maurice was gentle, caring, and selfless. She often told her family she wanted to become a nun, showing a character defined by faith, compassion, and creativity. She loved playing school with her siblings, tinkering on her organ, and composing songs with her older brother, Ron. And she shared a bedroom with her younger sister, Carmen Marie, brushing each other's hair at night, dreaming of David Cassidy and Ricky Nelson, the heartthrobs of the era. In the early 1960s, the Chivalella family moved to Hazelton, Pennsylvania, a community still tied to its coal mining heritage. Children roamed freely, families knew their neighbors, and the Catholic Church formed the backbone of daily life. It was a place of safety and comfort, until March 18, 1964. That Wednesday morning began like any other. At 4:30 a.m., Maurice woke, whispered to her sister, "Close your eyes, Dune," and got ready for school. She wore a dark jacket and skirt, black leotards, a multicolored scarf, earrings, a silver ring, and a gold necklace with a small cross. But that day, she had a special mission: to give her teacher 2 cans of fruit as a gift for a feast day at St. Joseph's parochial school. A simple act of kindness. Yet that very choice would change everything. Maurice left home early, walking alone through familiar streets of Hazelton, 6 blocks from home to school, a route she had taken countless times. But she never made it. Her teacher noticed her absence, and concern quickly escalated. By afternoon, the family realized something was terribly wrong. Meanwhile, 2 miles south in Millsville, a man gave his 16-year-old nephew driving lessons along the back roads. They noticed what looked like a discarded doll in an abandoned coal strip mining pit. But the horrifying truth soon became clear. The body belonged to Maurice. Her life had been brutally stolen, her innocence destroyed. The scene was horrific. Maurice had been bound and strangled. The cans of fruit she carried lay beside her, a cruel reminder of her selfless intentions. Police arrived, carefully documenting the crime scene. DNA evidence, hair, and fibers were collected, clues that would one day become vital. But in 1964, the technology to analyze them did not exist. Hazelton, once safe and peaceful, now faced a dark reality. Parents kept children home early, neighbors were on edge, and the streets were no longer familiar and secure. The community's innocence was shattered, replaced by fear. Investigators interviewed hundreds of people, following every lead: neighbors, teachers, store owners. The family endured unimaginable agony, cooperating fully while confronting the worst nightmare any parent could imagine: the knowledge that their daughter was gone and the killer remained free. As the years passed, leads went cold. Witnesses moved, memories faded, and the case slowly slipped from public attention. But for the Chivalella family, hope never died. They remembered Maurice every day, longing for justice and keeping her memory alive. Decades later, in 2020, Eric Schubert, a 20-year-old genealogy enthusiast, discovered the case files. Using modern genealogical methods, he reopened the investigation. DNA evidence that had lain dormant for decades now pointed the way. Finally, after 56 years, the truth was revealed. Justice was achieved, and a family received the closure they had waited for since 1964. What generations of seasoned investigators could not accomplish, one determined young man had solved. And the story of Maurice Chivalella, though tragic, finally reached its long-awaited conclusion. This case reminds us of the fragility of innocence, the resilience of families, and the power of persistence. Maurice's story is one of tragedy, but also of hope, justice, and the impact one individual can make even decades later. If you've been captivated by this story, remember, crime leaves a mark, but so does determination. And sometimes, the smallest discoveries can unravel the deepest mysteries. Thank you for joining me on this journey through one of Pennsylvania's oldest cold cases. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, because there are more stories waiting, and you won't want to miss a single one.